Is buying an Hermes Birkin bag impossible? Well, maybe for some, but definitely not for you. Let's talk about some of the secrets, tips, and tricks of how to successfully get Birkins and Kellys and other bags at Hermes, especially in the United States. If you don't know who I am, my name is Tanya and I love Hermes. So if you are an Hermes lover or aspiring to be an Hermes collector, click follow. This is a very exciting video because I will be sharing something that I have worked so hard for you to increase your chances at getting your Hermes dream bags in the United States. If you know, the US is one of the hardest countries to buy Hermes bags from. I have bought many Hermes bags from many different countries. Unfortunately, you don't see them right now. Usually they're in my background, but they are all in storage except this cutie picotin. So you'll have to believe me that I actually own these bags. I'm just kidding. Head to my Instagram and you'll see all of my beautiful Quota bags and my collections. So going back to the United States and buying Hermes bags over here, I have previously made so many videos and so many tutorials and 2 roadmaps of how to score bags in Europe, specifically France. The Hermes bags are less expensive and definitely easier to get over there. But what about for those that don't want to travel? What about for those that want to build local relationships with a brand here in the United States? This is a question that I get multiple times a day in my DMs and my comments. Hey Tanya, I live in this city, I live in this state, I want to buy an Hermes bag. How can I buy an Hermes bag? Unfortunately, in the US, you can't just walk into an Hermes store and ask for a bag. I mean, obviously you can do whatever you want and you can walk in and ask, but more often than not, you will be rejected. You will be told, you know what, we didn't get any deliveries or we don't have any bags. If you don't start a relationship with a brand on a good foot, that can actually reduce your chances at getting your dream bag. Like I mentioned, the US is one of the hardest countries to get Hermes bags from. Usually a good relationship is required if you'd like to get good bags. So I give lots of tips on my channels and especially on my Instagram about, you know, what to do to get a good relationship, how to get a good sales associate, what to buy, how much to spend. If I wanted to summarize it for you, especially for the United States, you should pick a store, pick a sales associate that you like. You should go in about once a month or so, spend around $1,000, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, and hopefully with a little bit of money spent, a little bit of friendship built, and a little bit of time and effort put into the process, you will be rewarded with a non-quota bag or a Birkin or a Kelly or a Constance or whatever makes your heart beat. But this is all information that you have heard already. I'm here to introduce my newest Hermes US Roadmap. As you know, in my previous 2 roadmaps, I give a bit of more in-depth tips and tools of how to succeed and how to increase your chances of being offered an Hermes bag with maybe less money or faster, or just in general how to increase your chances of being offered the bag that you like. And the US is a very big country with many different US stores. I know I have said it many times that the US is a very hard country to get US bags from, but not all of the states and stores are equal. So my US roadmap is designed to educate you to decide for yourself where you'd like to start your relationship or continue your relationship, which stores are better, which stores are worse, which stores have more pre-spend, which stores are more competitive, which stores get the best stock. This is the roadmap specifically going from city to city to state, and even in the same city, you can have 2 different boutiques that operate very differently. Like I live in Miami and I have 2 Hermes stores here in Miami, and then I have a little bit more in Florida, and not one store is alike another. They're all very different. Some are more competitive, some are less competitive, some have more stock, Some have more unicorns, some have less stock. I find it very different because the quota bag system in the US varies boutique by boutique. It shouldn't be like that. And definitely, I think that Hermes Corporate had a different idea when they were introducing, quota bag rules, etc. But the boutiques in the US, they sort of make their own rules. For example, in Miami, in one of the stores, Constance is considered a quota bag, versus in the other store, Constance or a Kelly Pochette or a Kelly Elan, they're not considered quota bags, which is definitely the information that you want to have at your fingertips when making a decision where to shop, where to increase your chances, especially if you're splitting time between different states. Also, this roadmap will work if you are planning to come to the US as a tourist and would like to try to get a quota bag or a non-quota bag. There are definitely some stores that are friendlier to tourists than others, and some states. My roadmap will cover many different cities, specifically each store within each city. Also, my roadmap will touch upon the newest appointment system in New York. This is something that is very new to Hermes. They just rolled it out this year. The appointment system that is very similar to Paris as a leather appointment, not just a regular appointment. Leather appointment system is rolled out in New York. Who is eligible? Who can participate? Should you try for a leather appointment in New York? Would that impact your chances at your local US store? Also, my roadmap will talk about many different situations. Like, for example, if you're in a city and another Hermes store is opened, should you stay at your old boutique or should you go to the new store? Because as you know, whenever a new store in the US is opened, usually that store will get a lot of quota bags and inventory. So people actually line outside of the Hermes store the day of the opening, or actually even the first week of the opening. They line outside and then they wait, hoping to score a Birkin or a Kelly upon walking in. A lot of people have been able to do that, but the bigger question is, should you do that? I guess my US roadmap is going to be me addressing some of the questions that are a little bit more controversial, some of the questions that I don't really feel comfortable speaking out in public. So if your goal is to start buying bags in the US or improve your chances, or if you're having any problems with your local store, my roadmap is for you. Again, my Hermes Paris roadmap and my South of France roadmap have helped so many of you score your bags, as well as my tips that I give on my channels. If you want to check it out, I have all of the information saved in my highlights on Instagram. I have my roadmap highlights and I also have scores, some with mini stories from you. I do think that my tips are definitely based on my personal experiences, and I have been able to get bags from many different stores in the US. Obviously, I'm the guinea pig. I test all of my crazy theories and I push Hermes to its limits. I try all of my hypotheses on sales associates before I actually bring them to you to see if they work, if they don't work. And then, I start telling about my tips and my findings to my friends, and then they try them out. If they're successful, then I tell you, my dear followers. And obviously my tips have helped so many of you get your dream Hermes bags from. So I hope that this US roadmap is no exception. It is definitely uncharted territories that has been very controversial. As almost 2 weeks ago when I announced that I'm going to be doing a US roadmap, I have thought long and hard about how I'm going to do it, what I'm going to put in it. And 2 weeks ago, I already started getting a lot of reactions and questions and concerns from all of you, my followers, just being concerned that am I revealing too much information? Is it not going to be good for those of you that shop? I do believe that my US roadmap will help to those that are already trying and maybe not succeeding, or those that want to try and just get it right the first time in the US and not necessarily waste a lot of money. So I don't think that I'm going to be making or breaking someone's Hermes journeys, because as I mentioned, US is definitely a harder country. It's not as easy to get shortcuts to Quota bags compared to France or other European countries. So if you want to shop Hermes bags in the US successfully, if you want to increase your chances, if you want to fast forward to the result of a Quota bag or a non-Quota bag, an Hermes bag, spend less money, wait less time, my roadmap is definitely for you. I'm going to link it down below. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to do one more video addressing all of your questions about my US roadmap, and I am very, very excited to hear your success stories. I am really hoping that my US roadmap will bring as many beautiful bags and scores as my Paris roadmap and my South of France roadmap.